Hi all! This is the first update episode I'll be making. In these, I'll mention upcoming episodes and projects, read Patreon messages, and just go over updates and news. Being a new thing, we don't have any Patreon messages to read this month. There is currently a post in the Ballyraven Patreon titled Agent Messages, explaining it a bit and providing a place to leave a message for me to read on the show. I'll be moving that to Patreon chats and probably make a Discord thread about it sometime this month. Basically, if you're a paid member, you can send a message once per month to be read on the podcast. You can promote one of your projects, wish someone a happy birthday, whatever you'd like within reason and for a general all-age audience. If yours isn't read on one of the main episodes, I'll be reading the rest in bulk on each update episode. Since we opened the BICPA mailbox, we've gotten a lot of questions and comments. But first, I want to thank our paid members. If I ever pronounce your name wrong, message me and I'll get it right next time. First, our Team Fae member Ishtar, who has been commissioning some Australian and RPG sketch page studies. Our longtime Team Dragon members, Daniel Berry, Donovan Scherer of Studio Moonfall, Colton Williams, Kimberly Nichols, Layla Lutweiler, Piper Wilson, Brandon Rook, Dylan Johnson, and Liz Miller. Team Bigfoot members Ronald Miller, Rick Belcher, and Lennon Roman. Our Team Mothman members Jim Walk, Dan Dan, and Necromantic 13. Our Team Lake members T. Carter Ross, Heather, Chris Mitchell, Sean Murphy, and Cryptid Clyde. And lastly, our Team Frogman members Shelby Fulton, Agus Mercado, Elizabeth L., Kylie Reed, and Mr. Blue Sky. This month, Ballyraven Patreon members will be receiving a Starfish Bunyip print, a holographic Mothman sticker that says "The butt is good luck," in honor of Point Pleasant's statue and silly tradition, and lastly, a summary cryptid postcard that features the Mothman, Hodag, Apple Devil, Flatwood Monster, and Mokilium Bimbe. So, if you'd like to get one of these items this month, sign up to Patreon. Whatever I have left will be available on Etsy. Back to the mailbox. We've gotten a lot of messages that boil down to, can you tell me about this or that cryptid? So we've got a ton lined up. Some we've covered a little bit before, some I've never even heard of, from aliens to ghosts to undead mythology. And I'll try to cover as many as I can. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to get my entire West Virginia archive up. There's a little over 100 cryptids in that collection, and it's taking a while. It can be a little overwhelming. I've also gotten a lot of messages that seem pretty confused about what BICPA is, asking if it's a serious organization or not, if it's real, if we do field research or go out looking for cryptids, things along that line. When I set out to make the podcast and BICPA stories, I wanted it to be like an ARG and an alternate reality game, because I've always enjoyed that kind of stuff, and it was a big part of my childhood, and it's just been fun for me personally. Found footage content is one of my favorite things. So I wanted to make my own ARG and as close as I could get to found footage feel. It's been kind of difficult, but it's something that you can't just jump into it. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of planning and extra research. So I understand that it's pretty confusing and it probably doesn't come across the way I want it to a lot. So going forward, I'm going to be reformatting the show a bit and make it more approachable and understandable, and step back a bit from the ARG aspects and kind of do more straightforward storytelling. Cryptids are already so niche. Combining them with ARG stuff makes it even more of a super small bubble. I love telling stories and want them to be enjoyed as much as possible, So I want to make sure that people listening to it understand the story and don't get wrapped up in, the extra stuff I'm adding to it. So I've I put together an episode on the Apple Devil that I hope fixes some of these issues while still being fun and immersive. I don't want this to ever turn into what most of cryptid podcasts are. I don't want to just be like, I don't want it to be just me reading the facts and the accounts. I want it to be a bit more immersive than that. I just want it to stand apart a little bit and at least include aspects of what I was shooting for the first time, but done in a clearer way, maybe. You'll just have to let me know what you think of the new version, if it's working or not, or how you feel about it, what you like better, why. It helps a lot. The more feedback I get, the more helpful it is. People who message me online are quite a bit different than the people I talk to in real life at events and stuff. Quite a bit different opinions there. But, I want to make stuff that you enjoy. Tweaking things a little bit to make it better for you as a listener is important to me. As a second update to the show, I've had some complaints about how long the name is and how it doesn't really make sense, which is fair. I'll be updating it to the Cryptid Guide, which seems to fit better in my opinion, and isn't such a hassle to say or type. On the other hand, I will be keeping the BICPA name for our Patreon club, and for the episodes that we've made in the past that are ARG found footage-y. We'll treat these as like our special episodes or community episodes. I've really enjoyed all the agent participation we've had the last few months, and having you all record parts for the podcast, and it just feels nice. It's a nice variety, and I've really enjoyed it, and you guys are way better at reading than I am. It's just been a very good time. While new episodes won't be in the same style, like an agent in the field watching a cryptid, that doesn't mean I'm not going to make ones like this ever again. I was thinking every so often we could all do a special Theater Kid episode together for fun. Maybe a couple times a year, we'll vote on a cryptid and do a mini ARG series following some characters in a found footage style. Maybe like a thriller or something. Or maybe a mystery. I don't know. In short, the podcast is going to change a little bit and will be renamed the Cryptid Guide. Episodes that are found footage-y and ARG-y will be labeled BICPA, then the episode and creature name, like Old Saybrook Blockhead Part 1. BICPA will be our Patreon community project. These episodes will still be in the same RSS feed and continue to be available to download. Not too much is going to change really, and I'll probably be able to get more episodes out doing it the way I am going forward. We'll see. This week, we have part 2 of the Paciencia Abductors series, narrated by fellow cryptid artist Sketchadoodle. This one was a lot of fun, and it was going to transition into a part 3 with a different alien, but I'll save all that information and do a different episode about it. While this part 2 is a bit of a mini episode, next week, the Old Saybrook Blockhead finale airs, and it will be voiced by one of our Team Bigfoot members, Lynn. This one is very long and very weird, and I pulled from a few different historical events in the area to make it, and I had a good time writing it. I don't know how clear the story is. I don't know how interesting you found the Old Saybrook episodes or not, but I was in the mood to do a detective mystery, so hopefully you enjoyed parts of it at least. Both of these episodes will be the last of our ARG BICPA collaborative episodes for a while. We will set something up for the group sometime after the Mothman Festival in September and make sure everyone who wants to be a part of it has a part to read or act if they want. Now, writing these new episodes more like essays is making the process a bit faster for me. I do get hung up in the details of storytelling a lot, so I might be able to keep an easier content schedule this way. I'm trying to get more organized about it. It could be a bit of a struggle as I do all the research, writing, editing, narrating, and I also run an Etsy shop and freelance and, work physical markets when I can, in addition to my least favorite part of being a working artist, keeping up with posting on social media. And I'm not very good at focusing or getting into a routine, but I'm trying to do my best or do better this year and figure out some sort of schedule that works for me. Set some goals and make some progress into this project. Looking forward, we have an episode on the Flatwoods Monster in the works, as well as one on the connection between old fairy folklore and modern UFO sightings. I haven't decided for certain yet, but I'm debating on whether to start and finish a series on cryptids from Lake Erie or Big Feet from West Virginia, because I have had several questions related to those. I'm not sure if it's just because that's usually where I've set up and talked to people, but I really like Lake Erie's cryptid stories, so I'm leaning more towards that one, and it feels very summery to go to the lake, but there's an equal number of each, so let me know which you'd be more interested in learning about, and I'll take everyone's thoughts and opinions into consideration and go from there. I'm also updating my research into the Mothman. That was one of the first cryptids I wrote about, and there's so much information, and it feels like there's more that pops up every so often. The lore keeps expanding with new sightings, and there's also the Gallipolis Mothman and a few other nearby collections of Mothman-like entities that I may or may not include. It's just a lot of sorting and sifting through data and descriptions and timelines. But I do want to do a Mothman episode before September rolls around, but it's just such a large story. It's going to take some time for every single part of the process. I also have a lot more cave dwellings to discuss, the ancient alien ones. On the surface, they seem like they should be pretty cut and dry and easy to write about, but I've been looking into each cave and its history and trying to learn what each expert says about the drawings and what ufologists say, and, respectfully trying to explain why some interpretations are more right than others. It has been requiring a lot more extracurricular learning than I expected. And I have a lot of books on Paleolithic art and cave art in general. It was my favorite subject in art school, but I'm a little rusty, so I've had to go back and do a lot of reading and refreshing. But, I also want to make sure I get it right and describe things well, because it's something I care about, so I want to make sure I do it well. Ancient Aliens is more of an excuse for me to talk about prehistoric art, because aliens aren't something I'm super interested in, and for the most part, I think Ancient Aliens is pretty silly and dismissive of cultures and actual historic things that happen. There's a lot of badness in Ancient Aliens, so it's a path I'm trying to navigate easily. Well, not easily. It's a path I'm trying to navigate, respectfully, because I have a lot of thoughts on it, and they are not good thoughts. Anyway, doing research on them has led me to learn about some of the prominent figures in the ancient alien community, and they are interesting in a terrible way usually, so I might end up doing a series on them and some of the great damages they have caused sometime in the future. So I don't know, what kinds of stories are you interested in? There are a ton of Bigfoot podcasts, so I assume most people like hearing about Bigfoot, but do you like the ghost stories, or the real obscure cryptids, the more popular ones? But I don't know, let me know what you're interested in. And that's all I have for this update. If you're a patron, don't forget to submit a message if that's something you're interested in. Also, I'll be doing a giveaway for the Happy Birthday Mothman painting this month, so stop by and comment for a chance to win it. Liz won our last giveaway for the Bunyip, so congrats to her. And thank you all for listening, and I'll check back in with you next month. Bye!